Good evening everyone and welcome to TTL F1. This is League 2, the Challenge Cup event for rounds 3 and 4 of the championship as we take in round 3 first of all from the Baku street circuit in the capital of Azerbaijan, and then round 4 takes us to Japan at the Suzuka International Circuit for the Japanese Grand Prix. Good evening everyone, I am James Head, going to be taking you through the stream tonight. I'm not alone however in the commentary. First time in TTTV history, he's joining me in the commentary box, and I promised you last night that I'd have him alongside me. It's a big good evening to Paco Suarez. Paco, how you doing?
Hello everyone, I'm doing fine. Excited to see a great race today.
I think tonight is going to be a sensational race, and I think obviously if anybody is wondering who on earth is alongside me in the commentary box, Paco, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to people that might not necessarily know you?
Well, hello to everyone. I'm Paco Suarez. I'm from Spain. I've commentated in some leagues before this one, and I'm excited to go along with James Head during this season, since I'm trying to learn and to improve my skills as a commentator.
You've came to the right place and you've got the right man alongside you. I can definitely tell you that one. Looking at what happened last week then, of course, it was Australia and China last week, and it was Mashiro who took both wins, I do believe, last time out, and he leads the championship on 51 points. Storm in second on 30 and Key in third on 29. Judging by the top three there, Paco, both McLarens and a Racing Point in the top three, do you think they'll continue their good form from last week?
Well, I know almost all the guys that are racing here. I know that Mashiro is pretty quick, Storm is pretty consistent, and probably the McLaren are the favorites to take the win. So I think they'll keep the form today.
Yeah, both in attendance tonight as well, which is always a plus, and I think they'll be going for the overall Constructors title as well. Looking down the rest of the field, it is quite concertinaed up in behind, with Passelt in 4th on 16, Maximus and Conti tied for 5th on 15, Charlie and Mays tied for 7th on 14, so very, very limited going, 2 points separating pretty much 5 positions there. Lord Hulton on in 9th on 10 points, and Vax Viking in 10th on 6 points. Looking down the rest of the field, Atlas Copo and Daniil have scored 2 points, so they're tied for 11th. Looking at everyone, how they've planned out in terms of the standings, is there anybody like a standout name who didn't necessarily do well last week that you'd be expecting to improve this week, especially with Baku in Japan?
Well, it's actually a difficult question to answer, really. I think everyone here is pretty like the same pace, you know, and probably maybe someone that I expect to probably do better is Maximus. I think he normally has more pace than what he shows, and let's see if today he can actually show up in the top, on the top.
Yeah, Maximus was quite unlucky, I've got to say, last week. I think he had a race to forget, honestly. I think it was in China. He had a race to forget. He's on 15 points, though, in 5th position. Definitely, and I've got to agree with you, I think a one to watch out for. He definitely appears to me that he's quicker than what meets the form currently out on track. And, of course, we come to Baku, which is the first track of our offerings for you tonight. We've got Japan coming up after this. It's one-shot qualifying and 25%. 20 corners, I should say, awaiting the drivers out on track. And with Baku, you really get a sense of the new city and the old city. Just how difficult is it to drive as a driver?
It's pretty difficult, you know. You have to be alert, as it's a street circuit, you know, as Jalen Palmer said, and it's like you get afraid of the walls because you get really, really close to it, and probably drivers will be afraid of the castle section, you know. If you just miscalculate by a millimeter, you're gonna end in the wall. So confidence is all here.
Oh wow, we're already starting. Good to speak. That was quick. I didn't even see the countdown come up. But Azerbaijan coming up for the Baku street circuit, and for your fact geeks out there, and I know you are quite a few are probably fact geeks out there. Azerbaijan actually did play host to the Eurovision Song Contest in 2012. Not many of you might have known that, but We come here for rounds 3 and 4 of the championship. Looking at through the comments, good evening to Storm, good evening to Lord Hulton, good evening to Key as well, who was tuning in, and to Martin and Christine Underwood as well. He got here at 7:55 p.m, expect to have missed 25 minutes racing. 8 p.m. start time for the Challenge Cup, and that is, of course, for TTL F2, TTL F1 League 2, I should say, getting forward. I will get the name right for next week, I promise. But obviously we come here to one-shot qualifying. Is there any standout names there who you really feel will go top spot, especially because it is sunny out on track?
Oof, really difficult to say, you know, like every driver have their weaks and their strength in each track, and really in a one-shot quali is not your pace, it's not your speed, it's basically like the mistakes you make in a lap, and the driver that is more consistent here will probably appear on top.
Well, Mashiro obviously is top of the standings. I think he'll go quite close tonight in one shot in Baku, certainly. And, of course, he'll be in front of his home fans for round 4. Maximus Storm, I think, might be on the top 3 as well, alongside Mashiro. I think I'll go for them 3, as we are about to talk you through a lap of the Baku street circuit. Get going with Vax Viking, who we are on board with. The Norwegian about to come down towards turn 1, hitting the apex very nicely there through turn 1 and then through turn 2. First sector not really that difficult around this track as Vax Viking comes through turn 2 now, and now opens up the DRS straight. Getting onto the DRS then, you can reach about 200 mile an hour down towards the entrance into turn 3. Of course, you've got to be hard onto the brake. Just after the 100 metre board, 75 metres if that. Vax Viking now through turn 3 and then coming towards turn 4 right now. And he's looking good currently out on this track, and we're going to get towards the end of the first sector now with Vax Viking, Lord Hulton, Key and Storm currently out on top. It's a 35.3 from the Norwegian out on track, and now this is where the old city meets the new, because we go in towards the castle section, and this is probably one of the most feared corners I think on any F1 circuit out there. Through 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. Trust me, count the corners going through there. There's turn 11, and now coming through turn 12 through the left-hander, and now you're at the highest point of the track as Atlas Copel has retired from the session. Looking good for Vax Viking currently. He's currently down in the mid-pack with 7th. Jeffrey has also retired from the session. Now to the top of the hill where Vettel met Hamilton in 2018. Of course, that famous moment in qualifying, and through turn 15 and into 16 to 15.5 through the middle sector for Vax Viking. So currently looking like he's on for 6th position. Maximus is just well down there. Lord Hulton, though, is still out on top. Mashiro and Key, now they run through turn 19 and then into turn 20, and now flat out towards the line where, of course, Lance Stroll got pipped by Valtteri Bottas in 2017. Lord Hulton about to come across the line, and the Williams goes quickest with a 38.9, but look at how close the top 6 are. I think that was 6/10 within the top 6.
Yeah, and that was really close, and it was decided by small mistakes. We saw Maximus just going into the wall slightly at the exit of before finishing sector 2, and that was really bad timing from him. But we can see that top 4 is really close, and probably we'll see a really exciting race today.
Yeah, Lord Hulton taking one shot, taking pole position with Mashiro in 2nd, Key in 3rd, Storm in 4th, less than 0.2 of a second separating that top 4. That's how close we can get here in Baku. Vax Viking in 5th, Charlie 6th, Maximus in 7th, Mays in 8th, and we've just went down through the order there, and we'll confirm that the rest of the order has become into the formation lap. Let's see what the conditions are like out on track, and it's very similar to one-shot qualifying. The beautiful blue skies here in Baku. Judging what we've seen from qualifying then, Paco, who's your money on to take the win?
Well, I have to say that I was surprised by Lord Hulton on the Williams. I think he could actually be on a good chance to win today, but maybe we cannot forget about Mashiro. You know, he's won 2 races, and probably he wants why, you know, so probably he'll be aggressive and try to win. I would put the money on Mashiro, to be honest.
Mashiro, championship leader you're going for. So he's 21 points coming ahead, coming into tonight's racing. He's 21 points ahead of Storm. He's on 51 points, Storm on 30, Key in third on 29. Let's have a look then at the main championship contenders, and they've actually lined up pretty much right beside each other. Mashiro, Key and Storm, second, third and fourth. Pretty much a reverse there between Key and Storm in terms of the championship standings. I've honestly got to put my money on Mashiro as well. I think he might just show the pace. If he gets the run down towards turn 3, which is of course down this long straight that the drivers are going down now, I think he can actually get Lord Hulton. Lord Hulton not known to be as consistent as some of the drivers behind him, but the Norwegian I think could do a good job still. But Mashiro might be the one to beat here tonight. Let's have a look at the strategies then, and of course top 10 qualifying on a set of soft compound of tyres. It is a very simple strategy, softs to mediums, nothing more, nothing less I think for the drivers here out on track. Of course if it was a 50% race we'd be talking about going onto the hard compound of tyres. Tom and Jeffrey interestingly though on a set of medium compound of tyres. Where do you expect those guys to pit in from a set of mediums? I would say about lap 7, lap 8?
Yeah, normally with the soft you've been on lap 6, so probably it's just 1 or 2 laps after the soft runners go into the pits. So we shouldn't expect them to be too long on track.
Yeah, medium compound of tyres I think will, as you say, last about 2, I would say 2, maybe 3 laps more than the soft compound of tyres. So if the drivers pit in like lap 6 on a set of softs, it'll be lap 8, lap 9 I would think on a set of mediums. It should work, and the undercut I think is quite potent around here. I'm not sure if you've experienced that before around here in Baku.
It's actually a long track, so if you pit a lap earlier than your rival, you probably catch a lot. You'll have a big chance to actually do a massive undercut. So you're right there. Here you can actually make a massive undercut, and maybe we'll see if Mashiro maybe don't see himself being able to pass Lord Hulton on the first lap. He might go with an undercut.
Yeah, Mashiro could go for an undercut, and the Japanese man, of course, starting on the front row alongside Lord Hulton. There are the towers of the city. The new meets the old here, of course, in Baku, and everyone now taking their time up towards the formation lap. Last thoughts then from Paco. How do you think this race is going to pan out?
Chaotic.
I'm not surprised that you've said that. I'm thinking in terms of that, especially at the castle section.
Yeah, definitely. 2 crashes at least.
2 crashes at least. Well, he's predicting. He's a very bold predictor. Give him that one. But we are moments away then from the action here out on track in Baku as I take the last sip of my diet lemonade. We're about to get going here under the capital of Azerbaijan for round 3 of the Challenge Cup here for TTL F1 League 2. The 5 red lights are about to go out here in Baku. Long hold on the lights, but it's lights and away we go. And Mashiro gets a very even start with Lord Hulton, Key and Storm running down towards turn 1. Mashiro, oh, that was Key actually running a little bit wide. Everyone looking clean through turn 1, and Lord Hulton leads the way then through turn 2. Storm down the inside on Key for third. Nearly gets caught up into the arm coat barrier, but everyone again very clean throughout, and that's what we like to see. Shumi has got past Maximus early on further down the field, but on the run down towards turn 3, Lord Hulton leads from Mashiro in second, but look at the Japanese man right on the back there, down into turn 3, and Storm might have been contacted there with Vax Viking. That was an end plate damage there, I think maybe for the Williams man, yet no visible damage on Storm, so Vax Viking has got, I think, right side end plate damage with contact to Storm. The back end of Storm, I think, literally just got his braking point completely messed up. A little bit chaotic in the background as Tom gets around the, tries to go down the inside of Shumi, not going to get that one done though, and Passels has gone past Jeffrey down towards, then into Tom nearly. Passels contact the back end of Tom, but the medium compound of tyre runner, the Welshman, still in 10th position. How's everyone looking through the castle section? I think everyone is clean through, and what a start. Lord Hulton leads 3/10 of a second though from Mashiro. Key in third, Charlie fourth, Storm in fifth.
Well, I have to say that the driver that seemed the most intelligent one was Mains. You know, he made a good start, overtaking 2 drivers, and we can say the same for Charlie. Meanwhile, behind Basels, it started really bad, and he tried to recover some positions, but he just could overtake Jeffrey.
Yeah, fantastic overtake there by Passels on Jeffrey earlier on. Maximus and Bax Viking are going side by side down the straight. I can see that on the mini-map, but I'm aboard with Mashiro and Lord Hulton as we come to the end of lap 1, and it's Lord Hulton who leads. Mashiro trying to dodge it down the inside. Storm trying to get past his teammate Charlie. The two racing points go side by side through turn 1. Storm on the switchback. Could he get the inside line into turn 2? Maximus as well. Yeah, good point there, and he's got past Bax Viking. I think that was down clean into turn 1.
Yeah, exactly. It was like that. Good dive and a quick move.
Yeah, up to 7th after losing that position actually to Shumi, I think it was early on. To Shumi, in fact, he's lost 2 positions, I think, there. Looking on board with the leaders, Lord Hulton is under all sorts of pressure from Mashiro. What sort of pressure, though, would Lord Hulton be holding at this stage, as Charlie has just been overtaken by Storm?
Well,
that was Kopolov in the middle sector, sorry. Go on.
Lord Hulton will actually be under a huge pressure because he hasn't won, you know, and probably he's really excited to show that he can actually win a race. So now the two McLarens, their strategy has to be to put this guy under pressure and just see if he cracks, you know, under the same pressure.
Oh, look at Mashiro! Mashiro trying to go around the outside at the top of the hill at turn 15. That was a bold one if I've ever seen it, but he doesn't go for the move. Wait for the DRS zone, man.
And that's good for Kiki as he can try to catch up back.
Yeah, Key actually, I think, has made a little bit of a mistake there. He got caught on the curb, but he's now 1.3 seconds off as Mashiro absolutely flies towards the barrier there. Luckily, no contact with it. Mashiro then closing in on Lord Hulton. We're about to end lap 2 here in Baku. Just commenting from what we saw earlier on, Atlas Copo, I think, had contact with somebody near the back, as Passels has actually lost positions, and I think he might have just went into the wall there, as Charlie, I think, is into the pits as well. Yeah, Passels, I think, has got damage. If I can just point it out, I think it's his left side end plate. It is left side end plate with contact to the barrier through turn 19.
And Main on the Renault also has, I think it's the right end plate, also damage.
Let's have a look. Let's see. He's got the DRS open to try and catch Mays down into turn 3, but he's not going to be close enough to the Brit. And yeah, you're right. It is actually left side end plate damage, I do believe, for Mays. Yeah. End plate has completely gone off that Renault, so unlucky for him, but he's still going round there out on track, and he's given Maximus something to think about still.
Yeah, Maximus has been pretty intelligent, you know. He has recovered the places he lost on the first laps, and he's in a perfect position to do an epic comeback.
Mashiro is still right on the back of Lord Hulton though, and this is really the only battle now that we've got out on track as Mays now begins to lose that time to Maximus. The position gains are on the left hand side of your screen. Jeffrey has gained 3 after early pit stops from Charlie. I think Tom might have been into pits. Let's have a look at the pit stops actually, and yeah, the bottom 4, Charlie, Tom, Passels and Atlas Cup have all been into the pits early on at this stage, but Mashiro now lining up an opportunity to get Lord Hulton. Lord Hulton very much taking a very wide out line there, and that was a terrible line as Mashiro was going to get to the inside line. Oh, Lord Hulton trying to come across, and Mashiro was always going to get the inside line there, and Lord Hulton, I think, has got damage. He's coming into the pits.
And Charlie has crashed in the castle section. First crash.
Yeah, he's retired actually in the castle section. And the car has just came and it got in the way actually of Tom and Atlas Copo as a result of that. It is though now Mashiro who leads the way. Maximus has just set the new fastest lap of the race, and he is getting closer to Storm.
And the Williams from Lord Hulton, I think it's going for an undercut. I think he saw that maybe the tires were a bit overheated, and I think he's going for a clean run and try to get that first spot back.
Keys just came out the pits as well, and he's now going side by side with Jeffrey. I think you can probably see where this one is going to go. Jeffrey trying to come across on the line of Key there, but Key has unlocked the position and he's up into 6th position. Very nice move there. Jeffrey got very close to the wall. Wow, got within inches. Oh, he has. He's got right side end plate damage. Good spot. Yeah, right side end plate and left side. So he's actually got both end plates missing.
Yeah, not the best race for Jeffrey, probably.
Atlas has just got the move done on Tom, I think, down in towards turn 1, and he goes very much into the wall nearly at turn 2, but he's managed to get the run out compared to the Welshman, and the Norwegian, I think, is going to stay here in 11th position. What I like to call, and what everyone I'm sure is very familiar with, the wooden spoon battle, as I like to call it here in TTTV. Of course, it is for the battle for last position. But Atlas Coco and Tom still going round out on track. Lap 5 then, about to begin. Do we expect to see Mashiro into the pits this lap? I think he's going to answer his own question, because he is going to come into the pits.
Yeah, he needs to defend from that undercut. If he remains on track for too long, probably Lord Holton will appear on first.
Yeah, Maximus coming in as well in the Mercedes, and I think Shumi might pit in as well. But Storm, interestingly, going on for another lap. His teammate is out of the race, so he's pretty much got free run of strategy. Storm trying to go overcut onto a set of medium compounded tyres. I don't think this will work, because he's a lap behind. He's pretty much going to be a couple of seconds behind on the next lap, when Mashiro is 10.5 seconds behind. He's actually came out in clear air compared to Lord Holton. So Mashiro has undercut Lord Holton, actually.
Yeah, it was a really great move from Mashiro. He stayed and he was really, really clever. So good overcut, good lap he did on those softs before going into the pits. Now he has clean air to push.
Let's have a look at the gap then actually coming down between Storm and Mashiro, because that'll be the real big indicator of how much that gap is coming down. I think Storm might be out in 4th position. Looking at my little maths that I'm doing in the back of my head, I think Storm might come out in a theoretical 4th position, because Mashiro is 9.5 seconds behind and already gained a second. Lord Holton is further 1.8 seconds behind. A pit stop around here is how long? About 22, 23 seconds?
I think it's actually one of the shortest. I think it's around 18, 19 seconds. You lose, you know. So, yeah, it probably he will appear in 4th if he goes into the pits.
Yeah, keep beginning to catch Lord Holton as well. I'm not sure if Lord Holton might have made a mistake at the top of the hill through turn 15. But now we do get the indicator that Storm is coming to the left-hand side of the track, and he is going to be coming into the pit lane here. Takes it very slowly compared to what Mashiro did. Mashiro absolutely flew into the pits, but Storm is into the pits and obviously going onto a set of medium compounded tyres. There is Mashiro already coming past his camera position. Storm then is in for his pit box, and I think actually he could be under a little bit of pressure from Maximus coming out of the pits. It's going to be very tight in terms of... There is Maximus, he's just coming into turn 1 now. There he is on the outside line. Here is Storm on the inside line coming out of the pit lane. I think Maximus has got him. So Maximus actually coming out in 4th position. Didn't expect that one.
Yeah, and I've just realized that Kiki has also damage on the on the left end plate. So that's why probably he's not being able to catch the Lord Holton.
It's left end plate actually for Key. I think the damage is on. End plate completely gone off that car.
I think I'm dyslexic. I'm just saying the opposite every time I say someone has damage.
It's probably because you're getting confused, I probably think, with the camera angles. The chop and changed, like... Yeah, you get what I mean. But we are pretty much half the way through the race, and Mashiro leads from Lord Holton in 2nd, Key in 3rd, the McLaren team 1st and 3rd at this stage, Maximus in 4th, but the real battle beginning to kick off in behind, because Storm is now on the back of Maximus. Shumi in 6th, Mays in 7th, who was gained a position early on, Vax Viking in 8th, Jeffrey, one of the chief gainers, out on track. He's in 9th position with Passels in 10th, and Tom struggling now. I think Tom has actually been into the pits again, and he's in 12th position out on track. But Storm getting to the back of Maximus. Do you think he's close enough to move down in towards turn 1?
We could probably see a move going on in turn 1. I think he is 5/10 away, and probably he will be really close. So let's see what happens now. He opens DRS, he goes on overtake mode, so probably he'll attempt the move. Nah, but he's way too far. He'll have to wait for the second straight.
Yeah, he's got about 2-3 tenths closer there as well. Just in judging of the mile an hour, as Mays actually is going to absolutely sail past Shumi down towards turn 1. Can Mays get the Renault stopped? He can, and he's through, and he's up to 6th place. Let's go back on board with Storm, who again is not close enough. He can judge by his ERS inputs. He's got it on 0. So Storm not going to go for the move there. But just to note out down the main straight, Storm was about 6-7 miles an hour quicker than Maximus. Normally when you open up the DRS, you should be, I think, about 10-11 mile an hour quicker. So Storm may be running more of a cornering setup than a straight line speed.
Or maybe he's just not interested in making the move, you know, because we saw that in the second straight he put non-ERS mode before getting into the braking zone, so probably he's waiting for the moment, you know, to make an easy move. So we'll have to wait and see what he does.
Storm absolutely flying through the castle section there. So close to the wall was Maximus just ahead of him, and took it a little bit conservative for my liking. Storm trying to look down the inside and towards 7:15. Not going to be close enough for Maximus. Just contacts the outside wall slightly. It was only a slight love tap, and of course if you are a fan of Love Island, you can get what a love tap actually is. Storm then on the back of Maximus, and yes, I have mentioned that over the commentary. I do apologise in advance. Storm on the back of Maximus, and this should be job done surely for Storm on the back of Maximus. The Racing Point and the Mercedes, it's like Lance Stroll and Valtteri Bottas all over again. Of course, Lance Stroll was in the Williams when he got overtaken, and Storm has made mincemeat of Maximus down the straight, and he's up to 4th.
And wait, because probably this is not over yet. Now Maximus will have DRS, and let's see if he can actually try to make the move back. But I'm not really sure, because it seemed like Maximus was much slower than Storm, and we can see that Storm had a really good exit through turn 2. Yeah, definitely Storm has the position covered. So Maximus is now down to P5.
Yeah, Maximus still holding in there though. Storm, of course, can be put under a bit of pressure, and again he just got very close to the wall there as Mays and Schumi are battling that once again down towards turn 3, and Mays holds the position just about from Schumi, who I think will get a little bit impatient, to be honest. He's been looking twice there down towards turn 3. Both times he's not gone for the move. I think third time lucky might be the key, because Mays looks under all sorts of pressure.
I can say from my personal experience that being behind Mace is the most frustrating experience you can get. He's a really solid driver, he knows how to defend, and probably is one of the most difficult drivers to overtake too. So I can understand Schumi frustrations, although he should be clever, you know, wait until he gets in the straight and try the move there, because probably it's the only chance he'll get to make the move.
Mays will definitely come into your DMs after you saying that over the stream. That's all I'm going to say there. But Schumi right on the back of Mays. Maximus trying to get close to Storm, and Storm actually trying to break the toe down the straight. He knows that Mercedes looks a little bit quicker, and now the rest